Hello. So I just wanted to make a really quick PowerPoint for you guys on how I do my math. I'm just going to keep it really basic. So first, I'm just going to focus on the main things that we started with. So I hope this helps. So the first thing you guys want to do, no matter what the problem is, you always want to check your units to make sure they're the same. So if you notice there are milligrams, grams in the same question, you need to convert it to one or the other. So I gave an example. If the question states let's say you have 1,000 milligrams of digoxin, but then the answer is asking how many grams did you give, you would need to convert that. So 1,000 milligrams is equivalent to 1 gram, and vice versa. So 1 gram is equivalent to 1,000 milligrams. So say if you have 750 milligrams, that would be 0.75 grams, okay? Now, the next step that you want to do is when you're just doing a basic question, you would do desired divided by half. So what that means is that if, say, you have an order that says 250 milligrams of digoxin, but what is available is 50 milligrams of digoxin per tablet, you would do 250, the desired, divided by the half, which is 50. So that would give you 5 tablets. So all you're doing is just dividing 250 by 50, okay? And you'll see on the next page I actually show you an example. And again, make sure that your units match up with the answer. So if they say, if you're noticing their milligrams, they're saying there's 250 milligrams and there's 1,000 grams, but then they ask you for tablets, make sure you convert that. So here's the first example that I give you. The order asks for amoxicillin, 0.25 grams, PO, Q8HR. And what this question is asking is amoxicillin, 0.25 grams, PO means by mouth every 8 hours. Make sure you know your abbreviation. And then what is available is amoxicillin 125 milligram tablets. Okay? So you notice how one at the top they're saying it's 0.25 grams and then the available is in milligrams. So what you want to do is convert it. So what I did is I converted the 0.25 grams into milligrams. So 0.25 is equal to 250 milligrams. So now you set it up in the formula, the desired over half. So you put 250 milligrams divided by 125 milligrams, and that equals 2 tablets. Because it is asking you, how many tablets would you need? Okay? And again, make sure you have the correct unit in the answer. So I underlined tablets because that is what it's specifically asking you for. Here I give you another example. So the order is asking for Zofran, 8 milligrams, by mouth, TID. TID means 3 times a day, okay? So now you also want to make sure that you're focusing on if they're saying to you each dose versus how much would you give the total in the day. So that will give you 2 very different answers. So please be careful about your abbreviations, but also pay attention to what the question is asking you. So if you have available Zofran in a 50 milliliter bottle and it's labeled 4 milligrams per teaspoon, then this is what the amount is available, okay? So don't get tripped up by the numbers, because you may look at 50 milliliters and think that that is the question, that is a part of the information that helps you answer the question, and it actually doesn't. This is what is called a distractor, okay? What you need to focus on is the 4 milligrams per teaspoon. So the first thing you want to do is figure out how many milliliters are in a teaspoon, and there are 5 milliliters per teaspoon. There's 15 milliliters in a tablespoon, so make sure you know your unit. TSP is teaspoon. TDSP, I think, is tablespoon. Don't quote me on that for sure. But, so now that you have your 5 milliliters, what you're going to do is you're going to see what they're asking for. Your order is 8 milligrams, okay? And so if they're asking for 8 milligrams and you know that there's 4 milligrams per teaspoon, then you know that you need 2 teaspoons. Okay, so if you need 2 teaspoons, you convert that to milliliters, and that would be 10 milliliters. That is your answer. However, if they ask you what is the total amount you would give to the patient that day, because the patient is required to get 3 times a day, the total would be 30 ml because you do 3 times the 10 milliliters per dose. Okay, so now we're going to move on to IV flow rate. This one is a little bit tricky. Sometimes I get tripped up with this, but the first thing I will tell you, and what makes it easier for me to remember, is that if they say a continuous infusion, then your time, your measured time is always going to be in hours. Whereas if they say how many drops or something like they give you a drop factor, then you want your time to be in minutes. So look out for those keywords that can later help you set up your problem. So, for instance, on the first part, if it says if you have a continuous infusion but they give it to you in minutes, you need to convert your minutes into hours. So I put there 120 minutes is equal to 2 hours. Whereas if they are asking you for drops and they give you 4 hours, you need to convert that into minutes, and then you would do 4 hours, which is equal to 240 minutes. And all you're doing here is you're doing 4 times 60 minutes, 4 hours times 50 minutes equals 240 minutes, okay? And yes, there is a way for you to set it up so you can do everything step by step. Do whatever works for you. In my mind, I'm able to convert the minutes into hours pretty quickly, but you always want to double check your work, and if you find that it's hard for you to convert hours into minutes, make sure you set up as a fraction or proportions or whatever it is that you need to do to make it easier for you to understand so you don't make mistakes. Okay, so as you guys can see here is the question says you have 1,000 milliliters and you're going to use it over 8 hours, and the drip rate is set at 15 drops per milliliter. So the first thing you want to do is convert your hours into minutes. So 8 hours is equivalent to 480 minutes. All I'm doing is 8 times 60, that is 480. And now you're going to do your time, your volume over time. So that would be 1,000 milliliters divided by 480 minutes. Make sure you put your units of measurement in there so that once you're done, your measurements are the same in the answer. So you do 1,000 milliliters divided by 480 minutes, you times that by the drop factor, and you will get 31.25 drops per minute. Now here I give you guys an example that if it's going to be a continuous infusion. So if you guys see this, it's going to be 1 liter to infuse over 12 hours. And because it's continuous, you leave the unit of measurement, you leave the time in hours. So it would be 1,000 milliliters divided by 12, and that equals 83.333333. But remember your rounding rules, so then you just do 83.3 milliliters per hour. Let's say if it was 83.35, then you would put 83.4. So make sure you understand your rounding rules for each, make sure you understand your rounding rules, but then also pay attention to your units. If they're asking for milliliters per hour versus milliliters per minute, or milligrams, or whatever it is, make sure you pay attention to your answer to make sure that it matches what they're asking. And a little tip is if you get distracted by things, underline the specific things that they're asking you and put a box around the unit of measurements to make sure that your answer correlates to what they're asking. And here on the left side is just some of the sites that I've used before to help me with my math calculations. So definitely do as much practice as possible. I'm not great at doing math, so everything has to be, I have to practice. And I think everyone should practice even if you are great at math. I don't want to steer anyone wrong, so I didn't want to give too many examples or throw you guys off with really hard stuff. And I'm also trying to focus on the stuff that I'm doing right now for my dosage calculations. But as my math expands, then I will share the same tips that I learned with you guys. I definitely advise you guys to visit these sites and practice as much as you can. If you have any questions, please let me know. And I hope this helps you guys. Thanks. Bye.